Welcome to the Therapy Show podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard. In each episode, I interview a seasoned and knowledgeable talk therapist from the counseling world to glean valuable insights, techniques, and tools that you can apply to your practice and your life. And if you're considering a career in the counseling field or just want to hear about what it's like to be a talk therapist, then this is the podcast for you. This episode of The Therapy Show is sponsored by Therapy Notes. Why not find out what more than 100,000 mental health professionals already know and try Therapy Notes for 2 months absolutely free? Just click on the link in the show notes or enter promo code Lisa at therapynotes.com. Well, hey friends, welcome back to another episode of The Therapy Show. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard, and this week I am tackling a topic that's close to many of our hearts. It's surviving the holidays with family. We all know that family gatherings can be a mix of joy and nostalgia, but let's be honest, it can be a little bit of stress for many of us. So in today's episode, I'm going to explore some actionable steps to not just survive, but thrive during these family get-togethers. Okay, first things first, consider adjusting your expectations. Holidays aren't going to always be picture perfect, and neither are our families. It is okay if things don't go as planned. So before you head to the gathering, take a moment to reflect on what you realistically can expect from your family and as well from yourself. Remember, it is about the joy of being together, and it's not about it being perfect. So number one, adjust your expectations. Number two, this would be a really good time to work on managing yourself. This is all about emotional intelligence. You want to practice mindfulness or deep breathing techniques. When you feel overwhelmed, these tools can help you stay calm and collected. Number three, try really hard to stay out of the drama. Family gatherings can sometimes stir up old conflicts, right? So if a heated topic arises, try to steer the conversation towards more neutral ground or excuse yourself politely from the discussion. I don't need to give you examples of what some of the drama might be, because I'm sure in your own family you can think of quite a number of things. But remember, just stay out of it if you can, because you are going to get your stuff possibly stirred up. You might get triggered. But like I said earlier, manage yourself. So deep breathing, practice mindfulness, gratitude. That's when these things really come in handy. So this episode's really all about actually putting things into practice, putting them into play when you're feeling stressed. Okay, so number four, resist being defensive. It's easy to feel attacked during personal discussions. Practice active listening and respond with empathy. Acknowledge others' feelings before sharing your perspective. Now remember, most of the time, it's more about them than it is about you. So if you can have that mindset going into conversations, you might be better off. Okay, take a time out when you need to. It's important to recharge. You can schedule short breaks for yourself. A quick walk outside or a few minutes in a quiet room can do wonders. My favorite way to do this is if I'm at a family event and I start to feel a little, overwhelmed or stressed or starting to feel defensive, I just go outside. I just go outside for a few minutes, take many, many deep breaths, and just practice gratitude in that moment. And I honestly believe that the more you practice these skills, the easier they become to implement when you're put into these challenging situations. So for some of you, this might be completely new that you're going into family gatherings and working on these skills. So give yourself some grace and have some compassion for yourself. And no, you may not show up perfectly, but your family's not going to show up perfectly, right? It's going to take practice. It's going to take time to learn some of these skills. Okay, the next tip is to release control. Not everything is in our hands. In fact, a lot of things aren't in our hands, right? So focus on what you can control, like your reactions and your actions, and just let go of the rest. How do you want to show up in these situations? Make that decision ahead of time. So when you decide that you want to release control, you know how you're going to react and respond. These are things you can actually think about before you head into family gatherings. All right. I want to encourage you to do that. Number 7, like I just said, practice these skills ahead of time. This is about being prepared. So think about the potential challenging scenarios and plan how you might handle them, because in role play with a friend can be helpful. And a lot of the times those scenarios don't even end up happening, right? I can't tell you when I was younger, the amount of scenarios I would plan and prepare for in my head that actually didn't happen. So chances are they may not happen. Also, my next tip is find ways to connect. Find positive ways to connect. Focus on building happy memories. Initiate a group activity that everyone enjoys, like a board game or a group cooking session, or even watching a movie that everybody is going to enjoy. Board games are fun. Working on puzzles are fun. I'm just thinking of things that we like to do. My next tip is do things that you like. Remember to cater to your happiness too. So carve out time for yourself to work on your hobby or any activities that you enjoy during the holiday period. And it's important to balance family time with personal time. If you have a tradition that you like to do every Thanksgiving or, every Christmas or every Hanukkah, make sure that you schedule that time in to do that activity for yourself. The next tip is to rely on a voice of reason. Sometimes we need a little outside perspective, right? So identify a family member or friend who can be your sounding board and help you navigate tricky situations. All right, there you have it. Short and sweet and to the point. Those were 10 actionable steps to help you navigate the holiday season with your family. Remember, the holidays are a time for love, laughter, and creating memories. So take a deep breath, embrace the chaos, and just embrace it, right? And most importantly, enjoy the moment. All right, you guys, I will see you after Thanksgiving. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. This episode is brought to you by okclarity.com. It's the place for any Jew to find an excellent therapist, psychiatrist, nutritionist, or coach, and it's completely free to use. Professionals on okclarity.com are vetted and have experience working with the Jewish community. And yes, you can even find me there. Just tap on the link in the show notes and you can see my profile. If you're in the market for a therapist, coach, nutritionist, psychiatrist, or the like, you want to check them out. And if you don't find what you're looking for, they have a concierge service where you complete a short form and they will personally match you all anonymously and for free. And if you're a therapist, coach, or other wellness professional, I highly recommend joining their directory. Their team is amazing. And if you want to stay relevant as a wellness professional within the global Jewish community, okclarity.com is the place to be. And last but not least, if you have WhatsApp, OK Clarity has an incredible WhatsApp status with close to 9,000 obsessed followers. I'll put the links in the show notes, so go ahead and smash those links, y'all. You won't regret it. The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard is edited and engineered by Chelsea Weaver. If you're looking to start a podcast or ready to take the editing off of your plate, be sure to visit chelseaweaverpodcasting.com. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I'm thankful you've chosen to listen to mine.
Be sure to visit lisamustard.com to access the show notes and discover more fantastic content.
And I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the show. Thank you.